Alright, I'm gonna think a little bit outside the box in this video. So right now I drive a Kia Forte, and one of my favorite screens to watch on the car is my gas mileage. To me, it's almost like a game. I mean, I don't even use all that much gas. It's just for me, it's almost like a video game of how high I can get it. Now, during the summertime, if I open the windows, there's a lot of drag on the car. That's not good for the gas mileage. But if I need to stop anyway, right, I see a red light coming up, I see a stop sign coming up, and I need to stop anyway, then I'll hit the brakes and I'll open the window, because that will help me stop anyhow. It might even save a little bit on the brake pads, right, and I need to stop anyway, and as a side effect, I can get some wind into the car. Now, it makes me wonder, why can't we automate that process? Every time you hit the brakes, the window's open. I've gotten so used to doing that sometimes I'll be driving somebody somewhere, giving somebody a ride, or going on a date, and I do that, and then I get to explain to my passenger the whole process of getting high gas mileage and hypermiling and all that. It makes you wonder, why can't we automate that? Every time you hit the brakes, the window's open. There got to be a setting for that, right? Especially since Biden wants us to all get 40 miles a gallon by, what was it, the year 2025 or something like that. I'm recording this in 2022, and right now, it's kind of died down, but last year, a lot of people were getting into fights on airplanes and on public transportation. I think a lot of it was due to mask requirements and all that. But it made me think about something. Lots of people fly, right? They have a lot of data on who flies. After all, you have to give your ID to fly. I wonder if they could do some number crunching or machine learning to see what kinds of people tend to get into fights, right? And try to sit people together who are more compatible, right? So, for example, language barriers can definitely cause all sorts of problems, right? When I fly, I always have to, because I have food allergies, I have to tell the person next to me when they eat to please keep their food away from me. Don't dust their hands everywhere. And it's tricky enough, right? And sometimes if I go to another country, I'll make sure to look up how to write that down in another language, and then I'll prepare it and get on the plane. But as a starter, having people with the same language, and maybe you can even do a little bit of behavioral analysis, right? What kind of people are likely to get into fights, right? If you have social media, you have people with incompatible hobbies, maybe you can use social media to get a sense of the person's ideas about politics, about masks, about COVID-19 and all that, about their gun rights and all that. And you can sit people who have similar political backgrounds next to each other to limit the air rage, right? Obviously, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback to that. But you know what? If it makes everybody a little bit safer, it might not be a bad idea. And after all, I think most people want to sit next to somebody that they're compatible with, right? Now, one of my favorite television programs when I was growing up was Unsolved Mysteries. Robert Stack hosted it. He has since passed away, obviously. And some of the mysteries that aired 30, 40 years ago, believe it or not, they're still unsolved. But I always wonder, you got a cold case murder that is still unsolved. I bet the murderer is watching their own YouTube video and marveling at it. It makes me wonder if we could gather up all the IP addresses of people who are viewing that video. Sometimes those videos only have 10,000 views. I would imagine that's not very hard to screen through, right? Makes me wonder. Obviously, you also got a lot of people who are related to the victims who are watching to mourn the loss, right? So that might be a little bit tricky, right? You might end up with the same suspect pool as you did 30 or 40 years ago, but it's worth a try. Unfortunately, one of my most frustrating unsolved mysteries is that once a while somebody steals my credit card online. I do a lot of business online, unfortunately. And it makes me wonder if we could set up some kind of bait credit card system where, how bait cars, right? They put a car with a tracking device, wait for somebody to steal it. If you can do it with cars, why not with credit cards, right? So you might put a bait credit card, near an ATM or on the floor at Walmart or in the parking lot, and wait for somebody to pick it up and use it. There's a tracking device on it, and while they're using it, the police are waiting for them at the store, right? I'd love to see that. I don't know why. I just dealt with a very frustrating experience. Somebody spent about $8,000 on my credit card, and it made me think about, I wish I had a bait credit card like that.